Welcome to the Dating Kinky Podcast, a cast about love, sex, romance, and kink. Last night in Life and Submission, we discussed who am I as a sub, and talked for quite a while about the idea that submissive needs are often glossed over in the lifestyle in preference of a fairy tale about total power and mind-reading dominance. Today's Throwback Thursday is from December 2017 and is another one of those fairy tales. This one, interestingly enough, is from the other side of the slash. The sub has all the power. Bullshit. I mean, it's kind of the point that the sub doesn't have all the power. They don't want it. They specifically want to give that up. Seriously. Who thinks up this drivel and speeches it out like gospel so that new kinkies take it to heart and pass it on? I'm in danger of spraining my optic nerve every time I read that drivel from some internet gobshite due to my extreme eye roll. Stop saying that. Now. Please. And in case your logic centers are not firing because you're too excited for those New Year's Eve parties coming in a few hours, let me logic this out for you. Power in any relationship, DS or not, is more complex than allowed for in a statement of XYZ holds all the power. Now, I've read, if a submissive has a safe word, then they have the power in the relationship because if they say stop, the dominant has to stop. They can walk out of the relationship at any time just by revoking the power they've surrendered. Fair enough. This is a great power. However, are they forgetting the submissive is not the only one with a safe word? The dominant can safe word out too, or just stop, or refuse to continue, or end the relationship. So to me, this is a tie. If you break the sub's rules or hard limits, that kind of qualifies as rape, doesn't it? Well, yes, it does, or at least a consent violation, possibly assault. But if the sub breaks a dominant's rules in the same way, it's also a rape or a consent violation. I see no power imbalance there, so another tie. The submissive can just leave the relationship, displaying the ultimate power she has over the dominant. Okay, I'm pretty sure that no one here is going to argue that the dominant cannot leave the relationship for the same reasons, or none at all, right? Perfect. So another tie. I'm just making the point that any power in a DS relationship, whether dominant or submissive, is freely given and able to be revoked at any time, for any reason. That's called consent, and it goes both ways. The only difference, in my view, is that the submissive specifically and consciously gives up some of their power to the dominant on purpose. Thus, the dominant has more power. Notice I didn't say all the power. For example, in my relationships, my partners have power over me because I love them and I want them happy, healthy, and safe. However, I hold the greater power because I have my own power, the power of my convictions and boundaries and rules, and the power they give me. I make the rules for my subs and they follow them to continue the relationship. And they hand over their power to me to make decisions, well, at least some of them, to push them further than they might go themselves, and entice them into new areas of interest and play. However, the dominant also by extension has more responsibility. Simon Sinek sums it up well in his video, Why Leaders Eat Last. I highly recommend it. A caveat. Bottoms do have more power in my view, especially in pickup or casual play. In a scene without DS roles, the bottom sets the stage, says what they want, and the top plays along. The top does have the power to create feelings and sensations, The bottom is in control, though, and must be to maintain safety. The bottom is responsible for their own experience, just as the top is responsible for aiding them in making it happen, when they consent to that responsibility, of course. Your thoughts? I'm curious about your thoughts on the matter. Do you believe that submissives have all the power? Dominance? Is it shared? Is there any imbalance at all, or is this just a pretty game to you? Thank you for joining me today. If you loved this episode, please share it with others who would enjoy it. And please do join me at datingkinky.com. It's built by Kinksters, for Kinksters, poly, queer, trans folk, and anyone not quite vanilla. And it's free. Find me on FetLife as Nookie Notes, and on Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook, and Medium as Dating Kinky. We're on Instagram as Dating Kinky Official, all one word. Have a kinky day, and I'll catch you next episode.